Hey guys, Mike, IronTrap Garage, and we're doing another week in the life. We got a bunch of stuff going on, all here on the property. We're not planning on going anywhere, but we have a lot of work that needs to be done. Matt and Steve have a ton of stuff going on in the shop, working on the 32 Green Roadster. Steve's doing all the juice brake conversion on that. Matt's working on the 39 Merc on the window stainless on the other side, has a bunch of work to do on that. And I think they're gonna pull the engine out of the 32 two-door sedan. We'll see. They got a bunch of work to do this week. My plan for the week is to get our enclosed trailer empty and put all of the pallets up here on the pallet rack. I'm going to show you guys some of the stuff that we got. We kind of briefly showed us loading the trailer, but not a lot of what we got. So that's the plan. So let's get to work. We got a long week ahead of us. So we were moving stuff around a couple weeks ago. Matt and I had a good idea. This shelf here is small. You know, this is 41 to 48. This is 37 to 40, 32 to 36. Model A and T stuff down below and some smalls. Some of these shelves can get a little over full. You can see this shelf's kind of overflowing. I got parts all over that we could hang up to save some space. So I'm actually going to put some pegboard on the back here to hang up some parts. The only thing we'll have to be careful of is some of the pallets. Whatever we put here can't be super high, but as long as they're less than waist, I can at least hang stuff in this area to just get stuff off the ground. And if we have the space for it, we just won't put a pallet or two here so we can get to it. So I'm going to work on at least getting one or two hung, and then Ryan, our helper, I can have him come back and put all the final screws in so it's secure. So I'm going to work just getting one or two up just to see what we need. We might need to cut one for the end and then just go from there, just trying to get stuff organized. The nice thing with this one is all of these, the wire decking has been cut off, so there's actually no overhang on the back here. I just got to move the cardboard around, slide it in so I can get the piece in. So get the first couple ones hung and go from there. What is up, everyone? It is, what day is it? Wednesday, I think. Can't remember. But I got all my packages done. It's time to unload that trailer. Take a look at what we got at that estate. There's a lot of stuff in there. We showed a tiny little bit in the previous week in the life of, 2 week in the life ofs ago, but it's time to finally move it out. Thankfully, the weather looks clear for the rest of this week. So I'm probably gonna put Big Red and leave it outside a day or two, get the pallets in here, try and go through a little bit of it to try and clear some space out, just because I don't want to just put it away. I want to look through it a little bit, get some, I know there's some items on there that are good that we could use in our eBay store that we don't have listed right now. So I'm gonna pull Big Red out, put that outside for a little bit, get the trailer backed up and unloaded, and then start just going through it. I'll show you guys a little bit more in detail what we got. There's some neat stuff in there. So let's get Big Red started up. It's cold out, so it is not gonna be excited. I'm gonna have Steve probably come over and help me push it outside. It's the last time I started in here, it was just filled with smoke in here for a couple hours. So we'll get Big Red pushed outside, fired up, start unloading. Coming to the apron. Ready? This thing's heavy enough, kind of just stop. Yeah. All right, that at least saves the building from stinking like diesel fuel for a week, more than it already does. See if this bad girl wants to start this morning, because it is 28 degrees in the building, so it's not going to be very happy. All right, so there's a bunch of big body panels here at the end of the trailer. I'm gonna get out, put to the side. There's a bunch of wheels and tires that'll go off to the side. They'll have to get dismounted in the other building. So just uncover a pallet, drag it out, uncover a pallet, drag it out, until the trailer's empty. So let's get started. All right, made pretty quick work of that. It wasn't too bad. So what I'm gonna work on now is sorting this a little bit. So I've spot for 2 pallets down here. So what I'm gonna try to do is go through these pallets and separate stuff that's like normal inventory. Like there's a bunch of fans on one of these pallets. Just pull them off, label them, we'll put them on the shelf. There's no need to move stuff a bunch of times. So I'll put another pallet down. And stuff that I need to go through, there's some bins in here that's just filled with stuff. So I'll put that on a pallet, we'll put it up on the pallet rack, we'll go through it in the future. But the easy stuff like fans, mechanical stuff, I see some shift towers, that kind of stuff, it's super easy to go through. Just pull it out, we'll put it away. There's a big pile of stuff here that was just, this is mostly stuff we pulled out of the trailer. I'm gonna go through it, photograph whatever we need to photograph, label it, put it in inventory, be done with it. Brake drums, bell housings, oil pans, some cast iron intake manifolds, just a lot of everything. And then out here, I gotta find a stack of wheels, gotta pull the tires, and then all this stuff out here, I gotta figure out where we're gonna put it. We have 2 Chevy convertible tops. I think that's 61 to 64, 59 and 60. Those are both for sale if anyone's interested. 40 Merc hood. I think that's 62 Chevy front fender. I think this is 37 to 9 convertible, like trunklet opening. We gotta do some measurements on it with the 38 upstairs. Then just a bunch of other big stuff. 32 tank, Matt's saving for himself. So all that stuff I just need to find space for, really. Convertible tops I'm gonna put upstairs, but I gotta move some stuff around so I can even put them in there because they take up so much space. So Ryan, our helper, will be here in a little bit. All the brake drums, I'm gonna have him pre-measure and put away. So if they're out of spec, they'll just go right in the scrap dumpster. No sense in keeping them. And then I'll have him just help me organize. A lot of work that needs to be done. So I'm gonna take the rest of the day today and tomorrow and get all this taken care of. So then hopefully tomorrow evening I can back Big Red back in here and then we're back to normal. So there's space for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pallets on the rack. I could put some up there if we need to. So just try and get this mess contained. It's not too bad, but I'll show you guys some stuff as we go through. There's a bunch of neat stuff that we pulled out. I'll show you guys as we go through this process today.
right, so it is Thursday. It is cold as heck here again, and this week. And so Mike's been doing a great job getting the trailer unloaded and stuff. He's got all the last load from that estate loaded in the building. To show you guys a little bit what Steve and I are working on this week. It's kind of early Thursday. Steve hasn't made it in yet, and I figured I'd do a quick kind of talk through here of what we've been working on. So we have a lot of stuff. I don't know if we showed it or not in a video yet, because I never know how these videos come out, but a little sneak peek. My nephew was here end of last week, and he was kind of bored, so the stuck banger engine got pulled out of the two-door sedan in preparation for some going through and redoing. Steve has some brand new brake drums here. He's been working on, I don't have the lights turned on real well here, so I won't go underneath the car, but Steve's been working on doing the juice brake conversion. Rear brakes are pretty straightforward as far as putting the backing plates and all the stuff on. That's not too big of a deal. He's got that all hooked up. You can see here the brand new parking brake cable hanging. You can see he's been working on starting to make brake lines run underneath, and it took him quite a while on the front brakes because just fitting all these parts together, there's like a kit you use that has a little reducer ring, and you got to file everything and make it fit on the backing plate to the 32 spindle. Little fiddly, but he got it all. We have these hubs all redone with new everything, and we got a brand new set of I think the Drake cast iron drums that will go right on there. So he's finally at the point where we can put that all in, and he and I yesterday just kind of figured out how we're going to do the pedal to master cylinder union, how we're going to do all that. So that's pretty much all figured out. So that's what Steve's been working on all week. Hopefully by the end of the week we have brakes on this thing. He's picking up a master cylinder this morning. We're using one of those excuse me, one of those Gremlin, it's Jeep and AMC Gremlin master cylinder. I used one on the Forgotten Hot Rod. It actually puts the fittings or outlets are on the passenger side, which we're going to fit this in the nook on the K member, so it's going to be super helpful with getting in and tightening those down. So that's what he's picking up now. I've been working on the stainless on the other door, making the other rear quarter window hinge and work just like the driver's side does. The driver's side went pretty smooth, and I don't know if it's because I've been sick or what, but the passenger side has been fighting me a little bit, but I think it's mostly just myself, not really the car. So I got this, the swoopy bit is made and just rough sanded, just DA'd in. That's sitting up there, that fits this top area here. That's probably the hardest part to actually make and keep straight. What I ended with yesterday was we have this lower section here that actually, this is the hinging part that goes in the B-pillar. I got my B-pillar actually made, and we're moving this original stainless over. So I got to spot weld this to my B-pillar. Then we could marry that and the swoopy bit, copyright swoopy bit, together. And then I could finally mount, I cut it down, but then at the back here, we actually narrowed it, and the back section that bolts into it into the swoopy bit gets welded on. So if you're not confused, I sure as hell am. But I wanted to show this. I don't know if anybody else is like this when they work. When I'm in a big project, it is like mess city. I try to keep the shop fairly clean for as much as we have going on, but like it's crazy. My cart, you can always tell what kind of project I'm in because my cart, I usually have like every tool out, every sander, hammer, drill, square, speed square, die chem, all that stuff. There's stuff overflowing on the ground. There's stuff on the floor over here in the car, on the roof, and then this whole bench is still covered with stuff. So it's always a mess in here, and when I'm doing these big projects, but it's kind of how it is. And as soon as Steve starts trying to clean up, I'm like, where's that sander at? And he's like, oh, I was putting stuff away for him. Like, don't put anything away. I'm working for a month. So yeah, it's a little bit of a mess, but I'm hoping I can get past the rear quarter windows and then get started on the door windows. But that's everything that's going on in the shop. So hopefully we'll be getting some progress done this week, and by the end of Friday, we'll show you something that's actually finished. So let's get to work. So today's topic, after all that's out of the way, we were doing, we're going to call it top 5 skills or traits that you need to build a classic car or nostalgic hot rod or custom. We're kind of doing the classic car thing because this also applies if you're restoring or you're doing any type of old car. These types of things are helpful. We get a lot of people. This topic came to mind for me coming up with this was in person. We get a lot of people that will come up to us. We get emails that they would love to build an old car, but they get intimidated because, like myself or some of the other bigger YouTube channels, have a lot of bigger, more industrial tools. Guys have power hammers and pull maxes and CNC plasma cutters, and a lot of times people think that you need to have that stuff or they're overwhelmed. And we're going to break it down on the basic stuff you need. I think all of us are here at IronTrap are pretty much like came from, it's not like we went to a restoration school or went to an automotive, technical school. We all kind of just learned from these basic traits. Yeah. So I guess that's it. We'll get into it.
Yeah, that's basically. That's
that was an awkward transition. I guess that's it.
So number 1.
So number 1, and this is something that I am actually very good at. A lot of people aren't as good at it, and it's something that if you start thinking this way, it helps you in a lot of aspects of life. So problem solving. So you need to be good. I don't care if you're restoring a car back to 100% original, you're building a street rod, building a muscle car, a race car. You need to be able to problem solve. Problem solving, I say, to me is the number 1 thing, because with problem solving you're able to do almost anything. If you can problem solve or troubleshoot, you could pretty much figure anything out. Now the quality that you figure it out to or complete the job is all on your skill level and your level of OCD, I guess.
All right, it is Friday afternoon. Matt and I just finished up recording a podcast for Sunday. I got a lot of work done in here. I was actually surprised at the amount of stuff that we were able to get done. It was kind of cold. It ended up snowing on Thursday when it wasn't, or yesterday when it wasn't supposed to. So I did some organizing over here. This is our like off-brand parts, Chevy, Packard, that kind of stuff. Organized underneath so I can get the convertible tops. I'm going to work on creating bins of items because as you can see it's kind of a mess. So do some work to get this more organized so things are easier to find when they sell and it looks a little more visually pleasing. Pegboard is hung. I just need to do some, I think we have to get more like the little pins that stick out. I don't think we have any more. But I have the pegboard, I just need the pegs. So that's hung. I put another piece over here. Don't know what we're gonna hang on this, but it's hung and ready to be used once I find a use. So Ryan's been doing a lot of taillight stuff, so he's been organizing bezels. I'm gonna hang a bunch of it on the back side of this pallet rack too, because we've had headlight buckets actually fall backwards. So I'm gonna hang some pieces across that to prevent stuff from falling. Let's see what else. So I've been going through some of the stuff we got at that estate. Unfortunately, the forklift did not want to start. The starter's hanging up, I think. So the pallets did not get put away, but they're here. Consolidated a lot of it, put a bunch of the in-stock stuff that we normally carry away. And I've been slowly going through. I photographed a bunch of NOS shoebox stuff and started going through the trim. So there was a bunch of trim. It's like, I think there's some 62 Chevy convertible trim in here. My goal next week is to get this totally empty. It's all hubcaps underneath. I want to organize all of our hubcaps because it's a giant mess. So that's kind of my goal for next week. We'll see. Like anything, we'll see where we get. Ryan spent a whole afternoon just measuring brake drums and getting all that stuff sorted and gone through. He measured all of them, make sure they're within spec, and paired them up. We're not set up to cut drums just yet for sale, but on the last couple of projects we've been trying to find drums for ourselves and it was a mess. So now it's set up easier to find for all of us to go through. So Matt and Steve got a bunch of stuff done in the shop. Nothing really major. Still working on the Merc. The brakes are almost done on the green Roadster. So just making progress. It's cold winter, but we're getting through it. So thanks guys for watching. We appreciate it. Catch you later.